Hello and welcome back to Sacred Stone 0% Growths. This is the final battle against the Demon King, and it is quite the RNG fest. So I'm just going to get started with my maneuvers while I talk about that. So the Demon King has 19 speed, and he also has 21 luck. So the 19 speed means that he can't be doubled by anyone and doubles almost everyone. The 21 luck on top of the 19 speed means he's very dodgy, and Garrick, who's the only one who can take a hit from him and not get doubled, has a 55 hit rate, which is not great. Not great. Garrick needs to hit him 6 times, or at least hit him 5 times to set up the kill for somebody else. So with a 55 hit rate accounting for 2 RN, you know, I expected to need to swing 8 or 9 times, which is a lot when you can only swing once per combat. There are a number of reasons that the Demon King will end up not actually attacking Garrick such that we can leave him injured. Oops, that's not what I do. And one of them is part of the reason that this is such an RNG fest, which is that he summons reinforcements periodically, and those reinforcements are random and can go very well or very poorly depending on what you get. So, like, some of the reinforcements are really dangerous and some of them are pretty easily taken care of. So, yeah, we get Sally and Men's Staff because he can basically fully heal Garrick with that. Pretty valuable. Anyway, so yeah, the reinforcements are a big random element as well. They do mean that on the first turn, Garrick doesn't actually need to be healed, because the Demon King will just summon anyway, but unfortunately I don't have the ability to get both Garrick and Tethys up there, as well as heal Garrick, so I don't have the ability to dance for Garrick and have him attack again. So, I've been having a lot of trouble with this fight because of the reinforcements, primarily. And I am at the point where I'm strongly considering just letting somebody die if I need to in order to finish this fight. Because it's just... ridiculously tough to take out all the enemies. Alright, so this is definitely one of the bad news enemies, the Draco Zombie with the defense penetrating attack. These guys are also really hard to deal with. Fortunately, most of the other enemies are not that bad that are out here right now. The whites are not a huge deal, the Tarvoses are not a huge deal, the spiders are not a huge deal. So we can start with, let's do this. Innis taking this guy out. He's pretty good at taking out the spiders. Let's see, do any of these guys, sometimes these guys have rune swords. Yeah, this guy has a rune sword. The rune sword guys, generally speaking, Erica can engage safely. Needs 4 damage. 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, my dealer of 4 damage is too far away to help, although I can fix that with Mulder, and probably will. But let's look at so this guy and this guy very much like to take care of. Let's see if Saleh is capable of one-shotting. Not. Okay. He can survive a hit from the Draco Zombie and kill him, which is not always the case. In theory, if I get out of range of the Draco Zombie, it won't pursue, but actually doing that is pretty difficult, though I can potentially use the Phantom to bait him as well. Which, let's see. So we want to use Dusel to take out this guy, because he's got an axe and Dusel has a brave sword and can quad him. Excuse me, but I want to pull him around in front so he's closer to future potential reinforcements. You can take out, in my position, you can, the Demon King can die before he can summon a second wave of reinforcements, but it requires Garrick to basically never miss, which is not realistic. Assume Erica can't. This guy. No. Okay. So, and who is going to be dealing with this guy? Is also a question. Potentially Cyrene. He gets a crit, a single crit. That's actually not enough, so that's not great. Cormag can do some good damage, but off. Seth. So much story. Yeah, I was saying the Tarvoses aren't a big deal, but that's because when there's just one of them, I can have Dusel kill him, but two of them, I don't know. Erica would need 15 damage. I think Noel's doing that much. Not quite. Okay. Could actually be a problem. Let's see how Cormag does against these guys. 33% chance to crit this guy. I think I've got to go for that. There we go. Okay. We'll do so forward and take this guy out. So we can have Ephraim kill this guy. So we don't have to worry about him. Let's see. So potentially Cyrene plus somebody else can kill this guy. Erica plus Noel can kill this guy. I think I'm in okay shape here. I think this is the best that's... Well, I guess I could see how she does against the guy with the rune sword, but I don't think it's gonna be... Well, if she crits the first hit, then actually either hit, yeah. So actually, let's go for this. Alright, excellent. So now, we're gonna use... Well, might as well go ahead and do this. But yeah, now we can potentially use Erica. Against this guy, she needs 16 damage. Noel, can you do 16 damage? You cannot. Phantom, how much damage can you do? 15 minus 12 is 3. Probably a really crap hit rate. So, let's see, this 9 resistance, 6 resistance. So, Noel will do a couple more damage to the Earth 3 specifically. So, you do 13 damage to this guy. Seth, how much damage do you do to this guy? Not enough for that to be a kill. So probably we end up dancing for Saleh. I really don't want to use any more charges of the Excalibur than I absolutely need to. Because I might end up needing to fight another round of reinforcements. I also might want to use Saleh for the final hit against Formotus, because I think he's got the best hit rate. Like, Formotus, once Garrick has hit him 5 times, he'll be down to like 5 HP, and I think Saleh has the best hit rate of anybody who can try to finish him off. So... don't want to do that for sure. 18 damage on him. I think Saleh can do that with the Divine. Yeah, he can do that exactly. He might crit. So I think I'm just going to go for that. Okay. No crit, but it's okay. Alright, so now we dance Saleh. Have him kill the Draco zombie. Now. Let's see. We can't kill this guy. We can potentially... oh wait, how much damage are we doing with this? 3? I don't need a Phantom out this turn if I can kill this guy. So... 10 and 3... 13 and 33. That is enough. So if the Phantom hits, then we kill him. Got him. Alright, alright. I think we're in business here. Excellent. So we can attack Demon King completely safely. He will use his mass sleep attack. I don't remember whether I mentioned that, but he has a 1-use mass sleep on Nightmare. He will use that. We have the Latona Staff we can use to mitigate that the coming turn. And then with no enemies to deal with, we can safely attack a couple times with Garrick, which is great. I don't think so. He's gonna move around a little bit, but I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any reason to bother healing anyone with Molder, really, because we're just gonna use the Latona anyway. So, I'm just going to wait. Okay. Full heal everyone. Alright, so this is where the RNG fest really gets festive, I guess. We hit with Garrick a couple times here. Yes. We can potentially not need to face another round of reinforcements. But if we don't... then, he won't be close enough to dying. We'll have to face another round, which gets as in my attempts so far, it seems like it gets progressively harder. Got him! Oh, man. Okay, this is great. We even got another use of the Latona Staff. We can use next turn to fully heal Garrick multiple times if need be. Okay, so now I think the Demon King is just going to summon again, but what I'm going to do is summon a Phantom just... I'll just put it here, but just to try to make sure that he's properly baited. Bring people in a little bit to increase our ability to get to various enemies. Hard to really know where to go, but like that. Alright, yeah, here come the summons. I think we're good. That's a lot of Gorgons. Gorgons are actually great. Like, wow, if I could have gotten this wave, like, the first time, because they die so easily. Like, you can... Ephraim can kill them, Erica can kill them, which is amazing. I mean, Innis can certainly kill them, Dusel can probably kill them. Like, it's a little iffy, but I wonder if he doubles them without the... But you can kill him with the Brave Sword potentially. Cormag, probably. Yeah, actually you can't. So I mean, it would depend on how many of them, but like, yeah, they're much less threatening just because they go down more easily. Anyway, so first thing we do is is that the first thing we do, or do we just use the Latona Staff? Or do we even just... Let's see, is a Physic... Physic from Molder plus a heal from Null. It's still on E, so... He'd heal 22... And Molder would heal 16... So that is enough. Nobody else is taking damage, of course. We need to get Cyrene out of the way, but we can just attack something. I mean, it might make more sense to just go ahead and use the Latona after killing some stuff. Like, kill some stuff just in case I whiff a bunch. Which is certainly possible. So yeah, let's see. Erica can't get to the eyeball. Okay, so let's just go ahead and clear some enemies. 76 to hit, 77 to hit, 76 to hit. Alright, Erica hit the 77. People who don't otherwise do a whole lot in combat should be able to take care of the Entombs. This guy is by far the scariest enemy. Dusel, you can come kill this guy. Innis is also a possibility for finishing, though he's certainly less... Oh my gosh. One-shot that guy. I didn't actually know you could do that. Well, I mean, maybe it's not guaranteed, but depending on their exact stats, but that's good to know. So I think we've established Cyrene cannot double the Gorgons. So she either wants to go for a Gorgon or for Entombed. Ephraim... 72... 72... Not great, but let's have him go for this one, I guess. Right? He's actually also somebody who could potentially finish the Demon King. I think I would imagine his hit rate is even lower. Yeah. Sale, or it certainly is. So not really what you want to be going for. Seth's is about the same as Ennis, a little bit higher. So if I'm going to keep somebody available, I should probably... So let's have... I guess let's have Ennis try to get the kill on this guy. Alright. Good stuff. Okay. So... Seth... can kill this thing. I'm not going to worry about actually doing that just yet. Cormag, can you kill that guy? Yeah, you can. And this guy... not quite, actually. So let's have Cormag... that guy out. And... Cyrene... probably take the eyeball. Cool. Alright. So now... we've got... The question is, do I want to use up the Latona staff right now? I could just walk up here. Mend. His mend only does 26, which is not enough for Garrick to survive. So, I mean, if I were going to do that, I guess there's not a whole lot of difference between doing the double heal versus using the Latona. The only difference is that I get healing for Cormag. Which doesn't actually seem that valuable, so let's just... do the double heal. Alright, Garrick, let's go. Make it count. Yes! Oh my gosh. He hasn't missed. Oh, that's so unreasonable, but also so excellent. Okay, so we've got basically 3 shots to get the kill. In decreasing order of likelihood to hit, there is Sale, Seth, and Garrick off of the dance. Although actually at this point, I guess you'd just dance for Ennis, because he's got the higher hit rate. I don't think anybody else is really going to be... because he's got like... yeah, he's got 36 defense, so if you're not using a legendary weapon, you're not hitting him. Anyway, alright, let's just go for it with Sale. If he misses, that's going to be so freaking sad, but hopefully he won't. Oh, man. I actually did it, and without it losing anybody. I really thought I was going to have to just let somebody die to finish this fight. Woo! All right. All right. Well, that is the end of this playthrough. I guess I'll let this just run while I'm... actually, can I just skip straight to the... okay, here we go. So... yeah, final thoughts. Overall, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the challenge. I do think that I underestimated the significance of planning ahead in this run. I figured Sacred Stones is the easiest game in the series, so this is going to be the one that's the most forgiving in terms of planning ahead. From what I can tell, that may not actually be true, because unlike a lot of other games which dump really high-level overpowered units on you right at the end of the game to make sure you can beat the final boss, Sacred Stones doesn't really do that. The last character you get is Cyrene, who is, you know, like, she's useful, but certainly not a world beater, and she's certainly not capable of, like, you know, soloing the final chapter, or, you know, something close to it, the way that somebody like Athos in FE7, or you know, the Laguzrail that you get in FE9, or the pack of Laguzrails that you get in FE10 are. So yeah, the late game challenge is serious, and I do actually want to do now that I know how this all works, I do actually want to do this run again at some point and apply that knowledge and you know, kind of clean up the end game, because I think for the most part I was pretty happy with how things went until really all the way up until I think chapter 19. I think that was the first chapter where I mean, that was the one where I had to, or wait, or was it chapter 20? No, whichever is the one with Morva, right? 19, I think 19, oh, 19 is Rousting Court with, against Reed. Yeah, that was fine. Yeah, it was chapter 20. So it was only the last two chapters, but, like, it really, my choices really compromised, my ability to, oh, hey, look, turn counts. Can double check. Oh, I never even said what my turn count for this chapter was. 10, 13, 10. That doesn't seem right. 15. Oh, I guess that's the combined total. 147 turns. Does that sound right? I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But, yeah, so, my choices with some of the items and the way that I train. I mean, I guess even putting aside, like, the last couple chapters, I guess some of the way that I trained units or didn't train units, like didn't train Joshua's sword rank enough, for example, didn't train Saleh's staff rank as aggressively as I needed to, that sort of thing. That definitely hurt, you know, my ability to complete later chapters quickly and easily. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely be interested in playing this again. To try to improve on some of those things and use what I learned in this run to really make the tweaks that would propel me to greater success in the end game. But putting aside the tweak I needed to make to be Morva, I'm surprised and relieved to have been able to beat the final chapter. So yeah, I hope everyone watching enjoyed the playthrough. I will once again mention that I would like to get some input on what I should do next. Sans any input, it's probably going to be FE7 Elowood hard mode with the same 0% growth, try to load turn it, but open to other suggestions. I will say that I'm probably going to take a bit of a break before I actually begin that. I want to make sure I have time to work on my Radiant Dawn level design series, and obviously Three Houses is coming out, and I'm planning on recording my playthrough of that. And by the time this video comes out, because I haven't even uploaded the first part of the final chapter yet, so by the time this video comes out, it'll probably only be like a week or maybe two until Three Houses releases. Maybe, yeah, probably not even 2 weeks, probably just like a week. So, I mean, there's no point, I'm not going to squeeze all playthrough into that time span, obviously. But nonetheless, if there's something that you are interested in, I'll just mention, in addition to the FE7 stuff, I've been considering playing the Jug Draw games, as well as FE6, as well as, I guess, Shadow Dragon or New Mystery, none of which I have played. So, yeah. 3DS games are not an option because I don't have a capture card for that. I think that's about... Oh man, those loss totals. You can see where I had to reset the game. Although I don't know what happens if I like do an emulator reset or just like close the emulator, if it's able to count those or not. Anyway, this is probably going to take significantly longer than... well, there's not that many characters in Sacred Stones, so I'll leave it running. What else can I talk about? I've certainly revised my opinion of some of the units from what I initially said. Probably the most interesting one is actually Seth, who I originally said when I started the run, obviously he's like one of the best units in the series, and, under normal, circumstances he's incredible, but, presumably he'll fall off as you get better characters throughout the game. And then as the run progressed, I was like, oh, this isn't really happening. Seth is just always good. And then at a certain point, it did actually finally happen, where he, he was always one of the better party members. What really happened was that everyone was bad except for Garrick and Solly. With a few exceptions for specific situations where there were specific situations where Tuso was really good. There were still specific situations where Seth was quite good. Specific situations where Mulder was really good. But it's interesting. So my opinion on Seth now is actually that, on the one hand, he's better than I thought he was when I started the run. He held up for longer than I expected him to. But at the same time, I would actually invest fewer resources into him. Honestly, my plan for a second run of this is to just dump all of the stat boosters on Garrick, and just and even probably, well, no, that hopefully that wouldn't be necessary. I'm thinking about reconsidering my use of the Hammer and Staff, but I think if I were able to optimize my warp and rescue usage a little bit better, then I might be able to save some charges on the legendary weapons. And I didn't quite break any of them. The Garm was down to maybe 2 uses, the Excalibur was about the same, but I didn't quite break any of them. And if I had an Alhoma user, that would obviously help. But then again, if I got Garrick's Axe rank to S faster and he was able to use the Garm faster, that might mean that I ended up using it more. Hard to say, but in any case, I would definitely want to give him one of the earlier angelic robes so that he can beat Morva. I would definitely give him both of the speed wings. I didn't mention it during the chapter, but if you give him both of the speed wings, he gets to 19 speed, and then he, with the Garm, can double the Demon King, which obviously would make the final fight much easier. And I don't remember who I gave this. I think I gave the first speed wings to Seth. And that, I gave the second to Dusel. That was... I actually was considering replaying the first part of the final battle just to change that, but it turns out that just the one speed wing isn't enough for Garrick anyway, so it didn't matter. I guess there are some of those reinforcements that I could have changed who could double who if I had given the speed wing to somebody else. And maybe Saleh could have doubled the Demon King with Speedwing. I didn't run the calculation because it doesn't matter because he can't survive a counterattack. But yeah, I would dump all of the stat boosters on Garrick. Certainly any secret books. His hit rates are definitely shaky at times. He could really use the additional hit rate. I guess he doesn't need all of the angelic robes you get. I think I gave 2 to Tana, 1 to him, and maybe 1 to somebody else as well. And he doesn't need that many. And so giving 1 to maybe to Seth or to Saleh, actually. Like somebody who, you know, could then tank some of those late game enemies that they can't get attacked by at all. That would certainly be useful. But in general, I would just double down on the, you know, Garrick does everything strategy, because Garrick is just so good. I mean, Saleh in my run there was a long stretch where he was arguably better than Garrick, but a lot of that was because I got his weapon rank to S, and he was able to use the Excalibur long before Garrick was able to use the Garm. And I think that's, in a way, that's expected because because Garrick's weapon rank is lower to begin with, so it takes more time. But at the same time, I think, I should have tried harder to get Garrick to S rank faster. Yeah. Well, once you get into the late game, he's just like far and away the best character to invest in. Although I will say, Dusel, if you get him to S rank axes, can engage the Demon King safely at base with the Garm equipped, because he has 12 speed. The Garm gives him 5 speed to get it to 17, which is enough to not get doubled, and his 41 HP plus his 12 defense is enough to not get one shot by the Demon King. One of the odd things about the Demon King that I didn't mention is that he has 2 different attacks, aside from the area of effect sleep thing under the Nightmare. He has Demon Light and Ravager. Demon Light is a 1 to 3 range attack. Ravager is a 1 range attack. And according to Seren's Forest and other stuff online, Demon Light hits resistance and Ravager hits defense. But from what I saw mathematically, it looked like the Demon King was always using Demon Light based on the animation, because he does like a punch attack if he uses Ravager. And he was always counterattacking with Demon Light, but it wasn't hitting resistance. I tried putting a barrier on it, made no difference. If you just Garrick was taking 43 damage because not 43, 37 damage because it was 49 attack minus his 12 defense. So I don't know what was up with that. But yeah, I would. In any case, Dusel can survive 1 attack, so if he has the Garm, he gets the speed to not get doubled. So if you combine that with Garrick, who gets the speed to double when he has the Garm equipped, you can potentially have Dusel go in, take a swing, have somebody trade, for the Garm, and then have Garrick come in, trade for it, hit him twice, get danced, hit him twice again, and potentially finish it in 2 turns. I don't think you could do it in 1 turn because you can't get everybody up there that quickly. Probably. Maybe you can if you have more Warp Staff users. But yeah, you could definitely 1 or 2 turn the map, and I did it in 4 turns. So that's definitely a place for optimization. Strategy has room for optimization. That's the word. All right, and that's the end. I can stop jibber-jabbering. So once again, thank you for watching, and hopefully you can check out my Radiant Dawn level design series if you haven't already. I'm pretty proud of that one. I think it's good. I've put a lot of work into it. I would be interested in getting more thoughts on it. And other than that, look forward to 3 Houses. Let me know if you have any feedback on what I should play next aside from 3 Houses. And until one of those things, that's all for now.